Hi, Jessica Henry here. Just wanted to welcome you to my video about art materials. I'm looking forward to talking to you about all these different materials and different things that you need to make your outdoor painting adventure run smoothly. So what I want to show you here on my table are things that you need to make your outdoor painting adventure run a little bit smoother. So I have before you just some of the basics that you would need. So I will show you these and talk about each one as we go along. So this is my outdoor painting backpack, and it is quite large. It is made by Sienna. They do a lot of outdoor plein air materials, and this backpack is outstanding. I've tried different backpacks, but this one really, it expands. You've got pockets all over the place. It's really deep. I mean, like, what can't you take with you? So this is great. And then you've got little elastic cords and bungees. So I'm going to open this up and one by one take each one of these objects and put them in here as I explain to you what we need. You need to start out with an outdoor painting easel, and there are all kinds of different ones on the market. I like this one. I have chosen to pick with this setup here because it is very lightweight. This is the palette box, and it opens up like this. This whole unit here weighs 1.25 pounds, and that is very cool. Especially when you've been carrying and hiking up a mountain. Yeah, you want lightweight. I like the brass fixtures on it, and then I like also that you have this separate piece that comes out and you can attach it to the screws down here, and you have a little bit of a palette extension. This is their smallest design. It is an 8x10. So, but that's not enough. You also need to have the tripod. So, I don't know if you saw that. This palette box also comes with the little screw here so that you can affix it to your tripod. So here is the tripod, and it just operates like a normal one. You open the little release here, clamp it in place, and you're all set to go. You'll see that one on all the videos that in this series. I always bring along a roll of paper towels. Always need them. And pack those in there. And then see, when I pack my bag up, I start with the largest items and work my way to the smallest. So the next item that I need to pack in my bag is my panel box carrier. And I have this one made by Raymar. It's an 8x10. I keep everything about that size. When I go out to do plein air, you don't have a lot of time, so I don't want to work much bigger than that. So I have this one, and it has slots inside like that, where you can slide your wet canvases. So I'm going to set this aside for a moment and talk to you about painting surfaces. I get a lot of questions about that, and I thought it might be informative to touch base on that. So what I do to save a lot of space and time is I will take maybe one board like this, just a masonite 1/8 inch board, and I will take a piece of linen. You can buy rolls of linen, and I cut it to 8x10. And then I'll take a bunch of these, put them in a Ziploc bag like this so they're all protected. And then I will bring along my roll of tape, and as needed, I tape a piece of linen to my masonite. So I tape these like this to there, and then when I'm done with the painting, if I'm home, I can just take it right off of the board like this, and I set this aside. And these stack very easily. They don't take up a lot of space in my studio. And let's say somebody wants to buy that particular painting. What you do then is you take your painting and your board, any board, and you have to use neutral pH adhesive glue because it has been proven by curators that this is archivally sound for the painting. I've tried Elmer's, woodworking. You can't use the other kinds of glues. Stick with this, and you can get this at most art stores. I think I got this at Blick Art. store. So buy that, put it on, and then I take a brush and I just brush it evenly throughout the entire board painting. Or you can even take a bare piece of linen and just glue it to a board so you're all set prior. You take it like this, and then you can put another piece over the top to protect it, and then rolling pin it out or press it very firmly, and then stack it between a few books and let it dry overnight, and you are all set and ready for framing. So that is what you can do with that. If you don't want to do it that route, you can just you can buy them pre-made panels to paint on. Raymar, the same company that I bought the box from, also makes excellent painting surfaces. You can also just buy them. I buy the Masonite. This is 1/8 inch Masonite. You can cut it into your sizes that you need. Because that is an 8 by 10, I go this direction with 8, and this is 6, so I can get a bunch of 6 by 8s in there. And this is just a couple coats of gesso. So I go several different directions with the gesso in different coats, sanding in between layers. And that's okay for studies. So there is my painting surfaces. Sometimes you can just pick up these inexpensive, this is just a cotton from Blick Art Materials store. Just cotton panels if you want to do a few quick studies. Mark it off down the middle, you can get a couple off of one page. That's totally acceptable. You can do that. So this is another one from the video series here that you'll be watching of the 8 parts. Again, just peel the tape off like this. And sometimes your boards are already gessoed underneath and you're set to go with another painting. And then you can fit about 6 to 8 in one of those Raymar boxes. Sometimes I've done that. This is portrait linen. You have to take your raw linen, stretch it over the stretcher bars, and then you brush a coat of PVA sizing. This is a product made by Gamblin. In the past, people have also used rabbit skin glue, and that's acceptable too. Anyway, I'm just using PVA sizing. Shake it up. It looks like milk. You brush it on, let it dry overnight, and then you have to take the oil painting ground. And this is acceptable and approved for oil painters because it is oil-based. Some of this, and I use a palette knife, and you just scrape it on your dried canvas, let it dry. It takes about a week, depending on your humidity level, to dry your first coat. So you have to do this, about 3 coats is all you need. So do a batch of them at a time, not just do one canvas. So that's that. So when you have your painting surfaces ready to go, I will slide them in my box like this. Get my 8 by 10s in there. And this is great if they're wet too. Just slide them in, make sure they don't touch. A nice way to transport them home. So they fit in there like that. You can get, like I said, a bunch in there. Slide it back up. Moving on. Now, when I go out to plein air paint, obviously weight is an issue. So I do not want to bring along a whole bunch of stuff. So I only bring along the basics. You'll see in the videos here that what I'm painting with is just 5 colors plus white. So I have titanium white, and these are all Gamblin brands, mostly. This is Cad Yellow Medium, or excuse me, Cadmium Yellow Pale. Sometimes I use Cad Yellow Medium in the videos, so I vacillate between the two. Yellow Ochre, Burnt Sienna, almost out of that, Ultramarine Blue, Alizarin Crimson or Permanent, very similar in properties, and then Phthalo Green. So I put those all in a Ziploc baggie. I keep a few Ziploc baggies in my pack because they're just so handy, and it also prevents a lot of leakage. So I'm going to just put them in the side for now. Then you have to have your Gamsol or odorless mineral spirits, terpenoid, turpentine, whatever you use. Got to have something to break down that paint. In this situation, I prefer Gamsol, and I like it because it will separate in your containers. So the next day after you've painted, you can go back and open your container up and carefully dump out the clear. All the sediment settle to the bottom, and it's all clear again on top, so you get a whole fresh start. So that's why I like Gamsol. And I don't smell it either. Some people are very sensitive to that. But all right, so you need a container for traveling in your pet. And this is my little container I have. I like this one because it has the rubber lid, the rubber gasket on the inside, which prevents leaks and spills. And then inside here is a little metal basket with little holes in it. So you rub your brush on it. This is full of, about half full of Gamsol. So you rub your brush in there. Sediments go to the bottom. When you close it up, make sure that the gasket is right in its little trench. Put it on top, clamp it down, and I always put it in a Ziploc baggie, a gallon size, just because you never know. All it takes is that one time for it not to be right, and it leaks all over your bag. So, anyway, I'm gonna just set that in there for now. All right, other things to bring along with you that you need to have. You need your linseed oil. This is the only medium that I use. I've tried all kinds of other kinds of mediums, and while they're great for what they do, I prefer just your basic linseed oil. It's the main ingredient that's already in your oil paints, so I prefer just to keep it really simple and streamline my whole thing. And I don't bring this entire bottle. I'll pour it in a little baby food jar or whatever just to take along with. And then I put it in a little cup on my palette. All right, other things. Brushes. I prefer bristle paint brushes for painting landscapes. You can scoop up a lot of paint when you're out there and get some good coverage with it. Bristles have a stronger hair, and therefore you can pick up more paint. When you're buying brushes, make sure that you don't have to get the most expensive brand, but you want to get something that is going to hold its shape. Believe me, I've tried all the cheap ones. I've even tried the very, very expensive ones. You just don't get the cheap ones because the bristles kind of do this thing and they fall out on your canvas while you're painting, and it's more stressful than it's worth. Even if you've never painted before, I encourage you, don't go buy the cheap ones. Like, you know, the Walmart $5 for 20 brushes. Don't do that. Michaels sells some pretty good brushes. You know, you can get them really at any art store too. So 2468 flat. I buy flats. You can get filberts. I prefer not to have filberts because I often will paint with the side of my brush like this, and it kind of grinds it down to sort of an oval filbert shape anyway. So that's what I buy. And take care of your brushes. Taking care of them when you travel, I prefer to have them in this. You can order these kind of pipes like this. It's a PVC pipe, and it has a lid, and they fit together like this. I got mine through James Coulter, and you can, these are cool because there's a little keyhole here, and you can put a little screw on your painting box and just hang it up so your brushes are right there. So, and I like this design too. There's all kinds of other brush carriers that I've tried on the market. You know, the flat kind, the roll-up kind. I like this because it's a slender tube. I'm only limited to however many brushes I can fit in here, and I can always find a slot for this in my bag. So taking care of your brushes, let's just do a side note on that. I keep a little soap box container here. This is just your regular ivory bar of soap, and I do keep a rubber glove. I try to keep at least one in here. I wear it on my left hand when I'm washing brushes because I take the brush and I rub it in the soap like this, under water, warm water, set the soap down, and then I do this. And I get the soap working it deep into the ferrule of the brushes. And so I wear the rubber glove to help prevent cramming that pigment down into my skin. So I keep one of these in my bag. And that's that for that. Always keep a Ziploc bag of your business cards. It is surprising the number of people you meet when you're out and about. For thumbnail sketches, it's good to have just a regular, I prefer a dark charcoal pencil that rather than, you know, a 2B or 2H, whatever, because when you're doing your sketches, you want to concentrate and focus your efforts on no tan, and strong design. So this was a sketch that I had done, just a simple layout of the rectangle and focused on the strong dark shape, medium, and the light masses. So, and a charcoal will enable you to get those darks as strong as you need to, and no tan is simply that percentage ratio of dark shape to light shape, making them interesting. So, little sketchbook, charcoal pencil. I always bring along a palette knife. I can scrape the palette or do a little painting. I prefer one that is triangular shape, if you can kind of see that in there. I like it. It's not too big and not too small. And I do bring along tape. Never know when you're going to need some. Depending on the time of day and the length of time that you're going to be out and what season you're out painting is how you'll gauge what else you'll bring along on your trip. I always, no matter what, pack along an extra granola bar because you don't want to be hungry or distracted. Always bring along a bottle of water, no matter how long you're going to be out. I bring along bug spray and sunblock. You can buy these little tiny, it's almost like a chapstick tube of sunblock and bug spray. And this bug spray I like because it comes with a little clip. I can clip that to the outside of my backpack so it doesn't take up any space. And if you want to go out and do a nighttime nocturnal painting, there are wonderful options that you can get for that. You can buy these. This is a music stand light, and clamps right to the top of my easel like this. And I take the batteries out when I'm not using it because they can corrode, and you can also, these turn on by themselves if they get bumped. So I don't leave the batteries in, but you can see it's just a row of LED lights, and it only lights up your painting and palette. So it doesn't affect your vision of whatever it is you're looking at. These are really nice music lights. And I got mine from Sweetwater. You can order yours from Sweetwater. I also picked up one of these inflatable lanterns. This is really cool. You can get these at Dick's Sporting Goods or Target. Just blow it up. There's a solar panel here, and then there's LED lights and a ring here. And I've used these. You just kind of blow them up and they hang like that. Nifty to have. And then I've gone out painting in the winter, and you want to make sure that you are bundled up. I will take my gloves and I'll cut just the tips. I'll just slit the throat on my first few fingers here and my thumb so that just the tips of these fingers are sticking out of my glove so I can hold the brush and kind of feel what I'm doing. And I also will buy some hand warmers. These are not very expensive. Throw a bunch in your bag. You can get foot warmers like this that you put in your backpack and put in your shoes. Keep those in your gloves, both hands. And also, if you are out there and you're filming or you need to make sure that you have extended battery life on your phone, you can get these backup battery packs. I think this one $20 for at Target. You do need your phone charger cord to make this work. Just plug in your USB port, plug it into your phone, and you've got your backup battery here. And last but not least, I always bring along a bungee cord. I will run my paper towels through here and hang it up on my tripod legs, and also a garbage bag. If you'd like, you can always pack along an umbrella for the top of your easel. I generally don't bring one because they're cumbersome, but I have used them and really do appreciate them sometimes. So here is my backpack, and this is ready to go out. It's really not that heavy actually, so that's all I take with me when I go out to plein air paint. Occasionally I bring along my palette. And you've seen me use these in some of the videos. This is my palette that I made. They are counterbalanced on the back. They fit nice into, I make them left or right-handed. This is birch plywood, and they are ergonomically designed to fit your hand in here. Really soft and very comfortable. And they're lightweight. They're made so that you can just hold them for hours working at the easel. And I also like that if I'm out painting and I do want to bring along my nifty palette, this backpack comes with a little clamp on the outside, so you can just let that hang and you are all set. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it's been helpful.